Down in Oklahoma, there's a place called Henrietta. They don't allow no dancing in that town. So if you want to mix the sexes, then you better go to Texas, or you'll be in the city jail when the sun goes down.
Well, good morning, Green Country, and welcome to the Bronco Brad Show, live from Love Ford and Henrietta, the crossroads, the center of the universe, Highway 75 and I-40. And again, by popular demand, I brought in a special guest, Mr. David Garrett.
Good morning.
Old broadcaster for the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints and a lot of other stuff. So, man, pumped to have you back. And David.
Same here.
And I'm just going to get started with a 16-time world champion bronc rider, bull rider, all-around cowboy, the great Jim Shoulders. And, of course, your buddy and everybody else's buddy, well, like 2 or 3 people's buddies. He's never responded to me. So he brought me any 8 beer or anything like that. But, yeah, you already know who I'm talking about. A 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, MVP of a Super Bowl, the great Troy Aikman. And last but not least, she played in great movies that won Oscars. She won a Tony. She was in great TV shows like Designing Women and Bewitched, the great Alice Ghostly. The Sooners, they're playing in the Atlanta region right now. Kind of worried that they weren't even going to get in at all. I remember a month ago or so I was doing one of these, and we were going into the Auburn series. I was like, man, we need to come out of this because we're tied for 5th with Auburn, and we really need to sneak into that 4th position for the SEC tournament because you get 2 byes. And then we start sliding and sliding and sliding, and we didn't end up with 1 bye. We ended up the 11th seed and getting bounced the first round. And Auburn from that went on, and they're the number 4 overall seed in the tournament. So all I got to say is probably don't buy tickets to Omaha if you're wanting to see the Sooners. But it is what it is. Girls, softball, disappointing. It's disappointing, obviously. We gave up game 1. We had a lead going into the late innings. We gave up that, and that was really the turning point. I went to the game Sunday, and that we lost. I came home, and I was asked, "Are you all right?" I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm like, I came to terms with it pretty early. But hey, Patty will get them back. We'll get them back.
Oh yeah,
we're fine. Nothing in the Sooner Nation to be worried about. That's what happens sometimes. It's a little odd that they're not playing right now, but I tell you, at least we got the Thunder, but we may not have that at the end of the night. They're playing tonight, and Game 7. Everybody says there's nothing better than Game 7. I disagree. I would have rather it had been over in 6, but we got to figure it out.
Well, they've been there and done that, and San Antonio has, but not this group. And this group that the Thunder have knows what it takes. And so I think they'll pull it out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But no matter what, we won a world championship. Can't take that from us.
No, right.
In Oklahoma. So win, lose, or draw, it's not the end of the world, right?
No, they'll be up for a while. I mean, they've got a gazillion draft picks.
Yes.
They can bargain and or pick players, and this core is comfortable at Oklahoma City. They don't have their eyes on the horizon like some of the stars in the past that the Thunder have had. James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, for whatever their reasons were, had their eyes looking to the distance. And I don't think anybody on this team has their eyes looking at the distance. I think they're planted for some time.
I think they're
a grounded
focused
team too.
And they are a team. They are very together. Love how they get together after the game, and they all go to the press conference together. But even if we lose, it's not the end of the world.
No,
hopefully we all got our health, right? You got to wake up this morning. You got an opportunity to come out to Love Ford and take advantage of a great deal.
I've done that.
Right. Yeah. Yes, you've done it several times. And employee pricing is going on. Ford just gave us another $500 to end out so the deals are even better. And you get the Love Plus, which is a 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty on all new Love Fords. We live in the greatest country in the world. Got our health. Don't let a game like this get you. Don't let someone that doesn't like tennis get you. It's not that big a deal, folks. Don't let a bunch of 19-year-old girls that didn't make it to the College World Series affect the rest of your life. It's not that big a deal, and they gave it their all. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Life goes on. Make the best of what we got, and we got it pretty good, I think. So I'm fortunate to have it. So
the facility's there, the brain trust is there, the support is there, the fans are there.
It'll be a better day.
You have to learn, and there's dynasties that have years off. Connecticut, Tennessee, and women's basketball have had their off years, and UCLA eventually fell off in the Wooden era, but that's kind of a bad comparison. But still, you lose for a while, it helps you build back, and there have been teams that have bounced back. Mike Krzyzewski's team's another one of those examples of falling off one year. Are they dead? No, they go back and win it the next.
Yep,
things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of tennis, wait, what? Tennis? Yeah, tennis. Okay, there's a little thing going on right now. It's called the French Open. Normally, I wouldn't give two what's for, because I actually like a guy named Nadal, and he gave it up, and that guy was crazy on clay, which is what is out at the French Open, if you don't know. Love that guy. But here's the developing kind of story. Here's the developing story. The favorite, Yannick Sinner, just went out in the third round. We're going into the quarterfinals. We got 4 Americans that kind of have a little puncher's chance of winning this thing. And to give you a little info, an American has not won a Grand Slam title in 23 years. 23 years since an American's won any Grand Slam. There's 4 of them. So this could be exciting. We got a shot. And I'm going to call it right now. Francis Tiafoe will win this tournament. He's come close in some Grand Slams. He got close in Wimbledon. He's going to win this one. We're going to have an American hoist up a Grand Slam this year. So that's what I got. Let's dive in what some interesting stuff. Let's talk about some broadcasting stuff you used to do, man. That's awesome. Dallas Cowboys, Troy Aikman. Everybody's fired up to hear Troy Aikman's stories. Is there one that sticks out to you the most?
Well, I told the Aikman accuracy story about knocking the tin can off of Mark Tuine's head in the last edition that you allowed me on. But, Troy was quiet back then, and I really wasn't in his fraternity. I was an outsider, if you will. When Coach Switzer came to the Cowboys, we had made acquaintance in previous sportscasting stuff in previous years in my association with Oklahoma and KTOK in Oklahoma City. But, and he helped me get the Cowboy job, but I wasn't part of that Sooner core that came down with the coach.
Right.
So I was kind of an outcast from that group. And then I had gotten fired from the Saints job and had landed in Dallas and was there. And another disturbance on the team got me the Cowboys job. I was next in line and of course threw my name in the hat and was fortunate to get the job. But I wasn't in Troy's camp either. And I knew Troy from Henrietta, but, just because we're geographically, there's a coincidence that we were from the same place, we weren't dinner partners.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
We're different in years, about 6 years, 7 years. So I knew him and he knew me, and we'd call each other by name, but we weren't fireside chat buddies through those years. And he had a riff with Coach Switzer. And so I was tied to Coach Switzer's hip. So it was, it was dichotomy after dichotomy of one against the other. And, in Dallas also, I will tell you that a famous broadcaster has later become a friend of mine, Brad Sham, had gotten kind of nudged out. And Dallas fans didn't like that. That was their favorite guy. And he's been back in that seat since.
Yeah.
So there was some dynamics there that were not broadcast related and didn't really have anything to do with relationship with Troy Aikman. But when he talked with me as a play-by-play announcer for the Cowboys, he gave great interviews. now later years in broadcasting at KTOK or maybe not KTOK. In my Oklahoma City career and Tulsa career, when I returned, he's been a guest on my talk shows, and we've texted each other, and I thanked him, and he's thanked me back for asking, and I would say we have a pleasant relationship. But I haven't even seen Troy since before his concert here in Henrietta. Well, it's been a while.
A couple of years ago, he put it on.
There's a long answer for you, folks.
He did a good job with that. Brought a lot of people in. It was and it went off surprisingly flawless.
Great to bring his name
in
to
and out of that park, and man, he did a good job. And kudos, and appreciate everything he did for that. Now you're talking about the riff with Barry and Troy. Of course, I just speculate on that thing, and I've heard some of Troy's interviews. But do you think it stems back to OU? Because I thought Barry did Troy actually a solid gift wrapping him to UCLA because that's where he could thrive with what he did. Do you think it like there, or is just Barry being the player coach that he is, and Troy was all work?
I think it's more of the latter. And Coach Switzer had complete control in his Oklahoma football program. In other words, of information that gets out, or who you get to talk to, or who all allowed to start, or talk to you, and when you go to the NFL, the chairman of the board is the quarterback, and the leaders, even though the head coach is the head coach, they don't have the power that a head coach has in college. And I don't think Coach Switzer, I think he was uncomfortable with adapting to that. And Troy, I think, wanted more structure, where Switzer wanted more loyalty and trust. And, there was a kind of a disagreement, if you will, of how to run a team.
Yeah.
And it continued to grow even through painful years for Coach and for Troy Aikman. And eventually, if you don't win, you have to make a change anyway. And they were pros, and they worked through it, and they become friends. And Switzer was at that Troy Aikman concert.
How can you not be friends with Barry Switzer?
But there's a style that works at college, and then you have to switch a gear and go to professional ranks. And, that team was already so put together that I give credit to Coach Switzer for allowing that put together to stay put instead of making massive changes or thought process. He kind of trusted what was going on, and the Cowboys won one under him.
Of course, and everybody keeps talking about, well, Coach won with Jimmy Johnson's team. That's true, but keep in mind, that team did not win the Super Bowl the year before. So, hello, he took them to the next level. Not that they hadn't won anything before. One of the funniest things, because obviously Coach Johnson was more of a, I don't say obviously, but more of a guideline to have rules. You need to be on, you need to be on time. You need to be here, and you'll get punished. You may not have a job. Like, you got to do that. And somebody asked him, well, one time, what if Troy Aikman fell asleep in one of your meetings? Because he just had punished somebody else.
Right.
Harshly, I think.
Well, the honest answer to that would be Troy Aikman would never fall asleep in a meeting.
Right. But his answer was, I'd get him a pillow.
Oh, I got you. I spoiled the joke.
Here we go. No, you didn't. But hey, folks, that's life, man, right? You are what you produce. So remember that. Give it a all out there. But yeah, obviously, I'd get him a pillow. He's my dude. It's back.
And it's better.
That's right, Kristen. With Ford's American Value for American Values employee pricing, you pay what we pay. No, less than what we pay.
And like always, American Value is always greater at Love Ford in Henrietta.
Yep, Kristen, with Love Plus, a 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty on all new Love Fords.
And don't forget, when you buy your vehicle from Love Ford in Henrietta, you have a shot at getting that loan paid off.
Up to $50,000.
America is turning 250, and we are still the greatest nation in the world.
Love Ford is proud to celebrate with these smoking offers with you. You who make this the greatest.
Nothing says America like hot dogs, baseball, and Ford Motor Company.
Tennis too?
Sure, Brad. America value for American values. Like us, these deals are real, and Love Ford always has the biggest values.
So put a little gravel in your travel and get to Love Ford in Henrietta, Highway 75 and I-40, or go to iloveford.com. That's L-U-V, baby.
Appreciated where you're at. Are you an A-Tech, B-Tech, Ford certified, Chrysler certified, or Chevy certified?
Or heck, are you just a guy that can fix a get her done type of guy?
Watch your mouth, Brad. Well, then you are who we are looking for and who our customers deserve.
So come by Love Ford in Henrietta and ask for Kristen or Brad, and we would love to visit with you.
We're excited about the future.
And we're fired up to get people like you who want to grab opportunity and grow with us. So call 918-268-2244.
Love Ford in Henrietta.
That's L-U-V, baby.
Hi, my name is Noah. My dad works at Love Ford. Feel Ford tough. That's love, baby. iloveford.com.
Shaping the minds of America's youth. No need to put them in front of a Nintendo, PlayStation, or some woke Disney movie. No. Let them listen to our podcast, our radio show, and learn, and may I add, from a highly moral individual. That's LUV, baby! So you were there just with Switzer, or you got to run in with Jimmy Johnson at all?
I actually fell into Dallas Thanksgiving of 1993, the weekend that Leon Lett had tried to jump on a blocked field goal and gave the ball back to Miami, and Miami got to kick another, I think, and win a ball game against Dallas. I arrived in Dallas that weekend just as a sportscaster at KRLD. I'd landed on my feet, and so I was there with Jimmy Johnson. And I've run this story by a few people that were, in my opinion, in the circle of people talking about this, but I actually was behind the scenes as a technical guy. I have some skill there, technical. The night that Jimmy Johnson said behind the scenes that he was going to put it out that another team was interested in him, and this was after winning the 93 Super Bowl. He had won back-to-back Super Bowls, and I don't want to name the other names that were there, but their names are public, and they were all sitting around, and I kind of thought that was weird then. But then that next week, a headline came out that had been floated out that I can't remember the team, maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe Jacksonville was interested in Johnson, and that really blew that Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson story wide open. Then there was already a riff and already hard feelings. But when that story came about, and then Jimmy wouldn't honor Jerry at a toast at a coach's dinner one night, and that kind of blew up. But I landed in Dallas to answer your question on the cusp of that thing happening, and got to hear it come out of Jimmy Johnson's mouth that he might, play the system a little bit.
I didn't know that. Was that before Jerry was putting out the rumors that I can win the Super Bowl with Barry?
No, yes, that was way before. That was during the season.
So Jimmy started that thing, because I think a lot of us out there assumed the latter. Jerry was just putting his ego out there.
No. I think Jerry was protecting himself, and for whatever reasons, ego maybe, and or maybe he's believed whatever he's believed all these years, and hasn't won since that era. And so
don't we all know?
So I think that the divorce was going to happen, and I think the fuse needed to be lit, and it got lit back during the drive to the Super Bowl to win in 1993, to win Super Bowl 28, I think it was. So there was already that coming about, and then there was the lack of the toast after winning one at the coaches meeting that I was talking about, and then the fuse was lit, and the story got out that there might be another team interested in Jimmy Johnson, and that kind of got pointed back to Jimmy because Jimmy was kind of behind the story. And so yes, I landed in Dallas Thanksgiving of that season and got to cover the team with the radio station all the way to Atlanta and the Super Bowl.
I got a newsflash for everybody. 31 teams were interested in Jimmy Johnson. You didn't need to leak that out. There wasn't another team in the world that wouldn't be happy to have Jimmy Johnson.
Right. No, right. And people, and let me say this, and I don't know how much time we have, but there's when I was in the talk show radio business, and we cover sports, and the NBA is a little bit of the example of this, but there's this commotion ball that is like what you and I are doing, or talk shows, or sports writers, or bloggers, or internet writers, or whatever, and commotion feeds off of each other, and it's this ball of stuff that has nothing to do with practices and boardroom work and game planning, but we tend to think the adventure that we build out here in this commotion ball that's built mostly by social and public media has the belief that they can affect whatever happens inside what rigidly happens with teams for them to be successful, whether it's NFL or NBA, and I've covered them both at the highest level. Yeah. And so there's kind of what I look at with what we think about doing it at the professional level as good as it's done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and now it's totally shift off that. I mean, everybody's out there. It's to get
bigger commotion ball.
Yeah, even during the games, the play-by-play has shifted so much. I mean, you listen, Doris right now in NBA, Reggie Miller. You know, their homers are putting in their narrative, and again, I think the Thunder do a really good job of not getting into that. And I'm not really scared that they got beat by 27 the other night. As far as this game is, I've seen that before, and it's not in their head. And they seem calm, and they can go out and do it. I'm nervous that they will do it, but I'm not nervous that that's going to affect the thing. But, yeah, everybody's trying to put their stamp on them. Like when you were doing it, it was taboo. You did a better job if they didn't know you were there, I think.
Yeah, I hope. I hope the conduit was fans to the team, not David's attitude or ego to the team.
Yeah, it was just an ad. It was just an ad to the game. It was like they don't. You're just, what do you call it? Intensifying the game. Whereas now it's like, look at me. Let me tell you my opinion. And
it's Stephen A. Smith stuff.
Well, it's new. Yeah. And Skip Bayless.
Friction sells.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I mean, if you really want to know what happens wrong in a football game is this lineman duo couldn't hold off that defensive end, and we couldn't run those plays, and they destroyed us. Can we say that in post-game? Probably not. Then held responsible for, why didn't you really tell us what was going on? Well, there's that buffer of what really is in coaches and players' minds versus what we need to know as well. So the stories that we build behind this, and I hope they win too, and I think that they will win. But one game is sort of connected to the next, but at that level, not really. We make more of it than they do. I'm telling you, on the flight home, they had it put to bed and was looking toward the next game.
Sure. And, it was and San Antonio needed it more, and they brought more. So,
and they're a good team. They're good, especially on their home floor.
Yeah. I'm not too scared about that. But yeah, it is out, and it's out there, and news has shifted obviously that way too, where it's all about them and the narrative, and it's not reporting the facts. I mean, Walter Cronkite would be flipping over in his grave right now. I mean, I'm just putting the facts out, right? And that's journalism schools like that, right? They tell you, be objective.
About to teach it at Beggs.
Right.
I'm serious. I'm telling you, that doesn't sell, though. clicks and notoriety, and the bigger I could make this for me, the better. But no, there's a standard there, but public consumption has devoured that up. They'd rather have that than the real deal.
Yeah.
So
and they would rather take stuff out of context. They would rather take 30 seconds out, not read the whole thing, and then on their social media put out their narrative off of that
with whatever picture that makes that narrative look better, whether that picture was taken for that moment or not. I see that happen a lot too. And
no, they don't read the whole book, right?
But you know what I did to not worry so much about that? I cut the cord on television.
Cut it off. Yeah.
I don't watch. I don't. I mean, if I'm visiting someone, I'll watch a game.
You know what I watch? Old westerns. You know what? Let's go.
Watch any news.
It's crazy.
Even games. I don't even know about Doris Burke this year. I know about her because I read about it, but I didn't hear what she said. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Didn't affect the game.
I'm fascinated with old westerns, which I used to laugh at my granny when she used to watch them all the time. So I'm watching these shows. The Virginian, Tales of Wells Fargo. Rawhide. Here's what I'd like to know. After the Virginia was on a long time, after 10 years, how are they still wearing the same shirt? I mean, the Virginia wore a red shirt and a black vest every day for 10 years. And Trampus wore a blue shirt every day for 10 years. I can't believe that's even possible, even back then. They had to have more than one shirt.
Well, they had a wardrobe department.
They were constant, man. And it was hot. I'm
old enough to have watched some of that stuff in black and white, and so we couldn't even tell if the costume was the same as the previous day.
Yeah, that's where they messed up. They went color, and we caught them. I don't know if anybody else thinks. I did, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. I don't watch a lot of TV either, other than old stuff. Bewitched, Alice Ghostly, and westerns. So
I know where to find my info, and some of it's right here. Look forward and
I give you facts.
You guys.
That's what I'm telling you. I give you facts. All y'all out there say you love tennis. I gave you facts today. You didn't know anything about even the French Open that's going on right now. Here you go. I gave it to you. And keep an eye on it because Americans, right? There's a big softball tournament. Probably I'm going to watch. I'll give you the information, but I'm going to hate it. But it's going on. We're going to crown a champion here in a few days, and it's not going to be us, and that's sad, but we'll get over it. But yeah, I think we've gone a little bit. We've expired Kevin's allotment of time, so I appreciate it. It always goes fast when you're here. And I didn't get all into the Love commercial. Don't forget, employee pricing right now, and you get to save a whole bunch of money. Ford just gave us a little bit more, and you get the Love Plus, 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty, plus a lot of extra good ones. And if you want to save a lot of money, you get some of our certified Loves that come in. That's a 7-year, 150,000. No cost to you. Add on miles to that car. And come see us today. Henrietta America, Love Ford. Or go to iloveford.com. And that's David. Thanks again, buddy.
My pleasure.
LUV, baby. Peace. LUV, baby.
Go to Henrietta. That old law is bound to get her. Cause in Henrietta, dancing ain't allowed. Rock, jump, stomp, bop, man, they're really hopping in Muskogee. They're twisting up